इसको भी खुद ही चलना है, इसको भी क्यों?
Hi, my name is Rupa. I am working as Assistant Professor in Chevrolet Engineering College in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I am dealing the subject renewable energy sources, and today's topic is applications and what are the advantages and disadvantages in the photovoltaic systems discussed until now. So these are the applications of solar photovoltaic systems. The terrestrial applications of this will be including the provision of power supply. This will be giving power supply to the, this has a provision of giving power supply to the following applications. First one is water pumping sets for micro irrigation and drinking water supply. Okay, we can supply power to the water pumping sets for micro small irrigations and drinking water supplies. Next, radio beacons for ship navigation at ports. So for power supply of radios, we can give this power supply we can give for radios in the ships, because there are no any transmission lines in the ships, so we can use this photovoltaic system for giving a power supply. Next, community radios and television sets. So a set of radios and television sets can be under the power supply given by the photovoltaic system. And next one is cathodic protection of oil pipelines. This is actually, this cathodic protection is nowadays very common. The protection, this is the protection of metal surface from corrosion. Okay, so from corrosion we can protect the metal surface by using this cathodic protection. So protection of metal surface from corrosion underwater. So when a metal is continuously underwater, we can provide it from corrosion using this cathodic protection. We are making this metal which is underwater as an electrical cathode, and we are protecting this metal. Next one is weather monitoring. So this weather monitoring means what is the weather in next conditions, we can monitor that. And railway signal equipment. Railway signal equipment means signaling equipment means for signaling the for giving signals to the railway trains, we are using this power supply using photovoltaic system. Battery charging and street lighting. Battery charging means we can charge the battery, and street lighting means we can give street lights by using a on the above light we can use a photovoltaic system, and in the sun time it will be absorbing, and in the night time it can be delivered. If you use the battery storage there, morning it will be absorbing and night it will be delivering the sufficient amount of lightning using this photovoltaic system. So these are the applications of solar photovoltaic system. Next, the major applications where these photovoltaic systems lies in water pumping. Second one, I said that water pumping, in the application of water pumping, we are using these photovoltaic systems for drinking water supply and irrigation in rural areas. So this it actually contains the photovoltaic water pumping system is containing first one a photovoltaic PV array, second one is storage battery, third one is power control equipment, fourth one is motor pump sets, and fifth one is water storage tank. Okay, these are the essential requirements that is used for the application of water pumping systems.
Now coming to the semiconductor junction.
And last one is advantages and disadvantages of photovoltaic energy, solar energy conversion. Hi everybody, my name is Rupa. Working. See, what are the advantages and disadvantages of photovoltaic solar energy conversions? First one is direct room temperature conversion of light to electricity. Okay, so directly what we are having the room temperature, we can convert it to light. So we can convert it into electricity. So light will be converted to electricity by using a simple solid state devices only. That is the first advantage. Second advantage is there are no any moving parts, absence of moving parts. There will be no any moving parts, so it will be simple. Third one, ability to function unattended for long periods as evidenced in space programs. So what is this meaning? Means we can leave it as itself without monitoring. So manhandling, without man, they can be automatically do their work. So we cannot in some cases, suppose in space we are not able to monitor every time what we are doing. Okay, so we can it can be lived as itself without monitoring. Fourth one, modular nature, in which desired currents and voltages and power levels are achieved by mere integrations. So this is a very important advantage, because whatever desired currents and voltages and power we want, we can get them by using this module method or array methods. So in this method we are arranging the photovoltaic cells by our desired current and other values. So this is possible only here. In suppose if you take in a parabolic or concentrating focusing collectors, we cannot calculate the desired current, but after application only, after working only, we can know that how much the current and voltage we are achieving from that equipment. But before on, but this is done after designing. Okay, if we want any desired current, again we have to establish some of the focusing collectors. We have to again construct some of the focusing collectors and we have to join with the previous one. But this is not the case in this we are seeing. Modular nature means before only by our desired, by our application purpose, what we want the current, we are before only designing this system, photovoltaic system. So in module, if you are putting this in modules and arrays, we can know the current and power values before only. So by the desired values, we can design this photovoltaic system before only. So we can estimate by this, we can estimate the cost, what we are putting in this equipment. Okay, next. Sixth one is they do not create any pollution. So there will not be any gases exhausted from this while operating or any waste from this. So they does not create any pollution. This is eco-friendly. Seventh one, they have long effective life. Once they are constructed and started using, they have long effective life. Okay, there are no any circumstances which damage these photovoltaic cells. So they will be for long life. They will be effective for long life. They are high reliable. So high reliable means they will not be get affected by any atmospheric conditions, by wind or rain like that. They are high reliable means they are high rugged, not delicate ones. They consume ninth one. They consume no fuel to operate as the sun's energy is free. Okay, you understood the point that no fuel is used to run this machine because we are getting a sun's energy daily and it's free of cost. So additional no fuel and additional cost, maintenance cost or some types of fuel cost will not be included in this. Next one. Hi everybody. I'm not getting the slideshow. Next one is 10th one. They have rapid responses in output to input radiation changes. Okay, so output to input radiation changes have rapid. They have rapid response means fast responses are there. Okay, if any solar radiation decreases, there will be fast response in the output also, because input decreases means here there will be rapid means fast decrease. Input decreases means fast will be output will be decreasing fastly. So these are the rapid changes, and handles microwatts to kilowatts. And for example, in 10th point, if you have suppose no long time constant is involved here, for 10th advantage I am explaining. If no long constant time is no long time constant is involved, as on thermal systems before steady state is reached here. Okay, next 11th one, they have wide power handling capabilities from microwatts to kilowatts. Okay, they can handle even microwatts, kilowatts or megawatts. Okay, so this is possible when the modules are combined into large area arrays. Okay, so if we are taking in large areas, we can go for this megawatts. These solar cells also can be used in combination with the power conditioning circuitry to feed the power to the utility. Not even alone, they can be used with any combination of other photovoltaic, other solar cells or other electrical equipments. 11th one is These are very easy to fabricate because these are the one of the simplest of semiconductor devices used here. So here we are using just silicon. This is one of the simplest semiconductor device. So by using silicon, we can manufacture this easily. And 13th one, they have high power to weight ratio. Okay, so this ratio, this characteristic is more important for space applications than in terrestrial applications. Okay, but actually it is more convenient for the terrestrial applications only. The roof example, the roof landing if you take on the roof a photovoltaic system, the roof loading on the house top covered with solar cells, for example, it will be significantly lower than the comparable loading for conventional liquid solar water heaters. Okay, next, amenable to on-site installations. Amenable means it is easy to it is easy means it is very reliable, and it is easy means it is by our favorable we can install this by our conditions, favorable conditions. These are very favor to on-site installation. That means decentralizing or depressed power. By for using decentralized or depressed power, we can use this on-site installation. So from this we can decrease the problem of power distribution by wires. Okay, so distributed wires here and there hanging in the areas can be eliminated. Next, last one is they can be used with or without sun tracking, making a possible wide range of applications. Okay, so depending upon the sun tracking, we are not moving this system. Before, as discussed before, in parabolic or concentrating collectors, this is not sun tracked. Okay, so for this we can have, this is the advantage of not sun tracking, because all the time we cannot be there. We can leave it, automatically they will work. And the disadvantage is main principal disadvantage is it is having high cost, and in many applications, while we are using this photovoltaic systems, in many applications energy storage is required, because there will be no insulation at nights. We have to store the energy in daytime and we have to supply it at the night. Okay, for overcoming this disadvantage, there are many efforts are being made worldwide to reduce cost, and various technical innovations are being researched. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of the photovoltaic system, and this is the end of the second unit. Sorry, third unit. Hi everybody, my name is Rupa, working as Assistant Professor in Chevron Engineering College in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I'm dealing the subject renewable energy sources, and today's topic is, this is the 4th unit for JNTU Kakinada students of the 3rd triple, and the 4th unit is wind energy sources. And in this wind energy sources, we are going to the syllabus, through the syllabus of wind energy sources of wind energy. What are the sources, different sources of wind energy, and what are the patterns, in what way the wind will be flowing, and types of turbines. These are used for electrical generations, turbines. So what are the types of turbines means? We are having two types, mainly horizontal and vertical axis machines. And kinetic energy, how is the kinetic energy worked out to convert to mechanical energy, and batch coefficient and tip speed ratio, what is the efficiency while using this wind energy, and power output of wind turbine, what is the power output equation in the wind turbines, and selection of generators. There are two types, synchronous and inductions. For what applications we want, we can select the types of generators, synchronous and induction machines. We know, you know briefly about synchronous and induction machines in before classes only. And maximum power point tracking, at what time we will get the maximum power, we can track those. And wind farms, what are the applications here, and power generation for utility grids, how we can generate power and supply it for the utility grids, we can see through this 4th unit. So until now we discussed about the conversion of solar energy into thermal or some electrical energies. Now we are dealing with indirect solar electrical technology. So this is indirect solar electrical technology, and this is called as wind power. So wind results from air in motion. It results from air in motion. Air in motion will be arising from a pressure gradient. If there is a pressure difference in the atmosphere, then the motion to the air will be arising. So on the whole global basis, one primary forcing function which causes the surface winds from poles. Poles means North Pole, South Pole, like that, and towards the equator. While they are flowing towards the equator, one global forcing function is, it is convective circulation. Right? So actually by solar radiations, the air is getting heated by the solar radiations near the equator, and this low density heated air is going up. Okay, when the at the equators, when the air is heated by solar radiations, this becomes low density, and this will be going up, and at the surface it is displayed by cooler. Okay, sorry, displaced by a cooler. So at the surface means, at the top surfaces, cooler airs will be there, and these hot airs are displaced by the coolers, which are more higher pressure, which are more denser, higher pressure air flowing from the poles. So due to this displacement in the upper atmosphere near the equator, the air thus tends to flow back towards the poles. Okay, so due to this pressure variations, this flow back towards the poles, which is away from the equator. So this air starts flowing away from the equator. So all this flowing away from the equator and again displaced by a cooler air which is more denser. This circulation, this net results in global convective circulation with surface winds, which results in surface winds. Okay, so these will be resulting from north to south in the northern atmospheres. Okay, so north to south. See the direction of wind, north to south in the northern hemispheres. So from this, it is clear that wind is actually, it is primarily caused by a solar energy irradiating the earth. Okay, so this is why wind utilization is considered as a part of solar technology only, because we are getting convective circulation of wind, and this convective circulation of wind is used by our applications for using different uses. So actually this wind convective circulation is done due to solar radiation. So we can basically this is one wind power can be treated as one of the part of the solar technology only. In actually, wind is more complex than solar energy, because what we have discussed above, it ignores the Earth's rotation, how the Earth is rotating from west to east or east to east. It does not bother. It ignores the Earth rotation, which causes Coriolis forces, means Coriolis forces resulting in easter wind velocity component in northern hemisphere. So these results in Coriolis forces, means some forces which force the wind to flow in one direction. These results in easterly wind velocity. These changes the wind velocities. These will be increasing and decreasing the wind velocities in the northern hemispheres. So this is further complication of boundary layer frictioning effects. So this boundary layer frictioning effects will be arriving between the moving air and the Earth's surface. So Earth is having some rough surfaces, so there will be some effect between this moving air and Earth's rough surface. Example, mountains, trees, buildings and similar abstractions, these have streamline airflow. Okay, so these have streamline airflow, means not uniform. And this turbulence results and the wind velocity in the horizontal direction increases also with the altitude near the surfaces. Okay, so there is that this is the fact of land and water. Their unequals, there is a, suppose if you take water and land, they will not absorb the solar radiation in equal ways. Okay, so water will be having sometimes more and land will be having sometimes more. So there are some unequal solar absorptivities, and they are also having thermal time constants of not equal. If you take in daytimes, during daylight, the land will be heated up rapidly compared to a nearby sea or water bodies. If you compare the land and water bodies in daytime, this land will be absorbing more than the beside sea or water bodies. And here there tends to be a surface wind flow from water to land. Okay, so there is existing a difference of absorbability levels. So there will be a wind flow from water to land. At night, the wind reverses because the water will be hot and land will be cooled at night. So again, from land to water, the wind will be flowing. Okay, so there is a reversal of wind. At daytime, wind will be flowing from water to land because water are more density, as this absorbs less solar radiations, and as land absorbs more solar radiations, they get heated up and the water will get less denser. So from water to land, the wind will be flowing. And at the daytime, it is going to be reversed from land to water. Okay, so these are called as local winds. These local winds are actually caused by two mechanisms. Okay, first is differential heating of land and water. So there is a difference in the heating of land and water as discussed before. Solar insolation during the day is readily converted to sensible energy of land surface. but it is not partly absorbed in layers below the water surface, but these are partly consumed in evaporating some of that water. Just these do not store any type of solar radiations, but these are partly absorbed in the layers below the water surface, and these evaporate some of the water, and the land masses here become hotter than the water. So this gives the flow. As the land masses becomes hotter than the water, this causes the air above the land to heat up and become warmer. So if it becomes warmer, it is becoming warmer than the air above water. Okay, so we are having air above the land and water. The air above the land will be more warmer than the water. So this warmer lighter air above the land, it rises up, and the cooler heavier air above the water moves into replacing it. Okay, there is a wind flow here from water to land. So this is the mechanism. This is the what we are saying. It is the mechanism of shore breezes. Actually, at night, if you take the reverse condition at night, the direction of this breeze is reversed. This shore breeze, the direction of this shore breeze is reversed, because the land mass cools to the sky. Okay, so in daytime land is heated more and water is heated less. Though, so the air on the land is more denser, and air on the water is less denser. So there will be movement of air from water to land. When in night, this is reversed. Land will be cooling more rapidly than the water. So if you are assuming a clear sky, if you take a clear sky, the second mechanism of local winds, this is the first one, until now first one. Next, second one is, the second mechanism is local wind is caused by hills and mountain sides. So first mechanism is due to the movement of air from water to land and land to water. This is the first mechanism. And second mechanism is due to hills and mountain sides. Suppose if you take the air above the slopes, this heats up during the day and cools down at night. This process is more rapidly than the air above the lowlands. Okay, so as we go above the altitude, the temperature will be, the air heating will be increasing than the lowlands. So this causes heated air the day to rise along the slopes, and these are relatively cool heavier air to flow down at night. Okay, so from up to down and down to up, there will be movement of wind. And it has been it has been estimated that 2% of all the solar radiation falling on the face of the earth is converted to kinetic energy in the atmosphere. Okay, only 2% of all the solar radiations falling on the earth will be converted to kinetic energy, and 30% of this, again in this 2% we are getting some kinetic energy, and in this kinetic energy only 30% of this kinetic energy occurs in the lowest 1000 meters of elevation. Okay, 30% of the kinetic energy is converted into some applications at the range of 1000 meters of elevations from the land. So it is said that, we already said that total kinetic energy of the wind in this lowest kilometers, suppose if you use this, we can satisfy several times the energy demand of the country. So what we are getting is 30% only. So in this 30%, if we can use the maximum amount, we can satisfy several amounts of applications, several applications in our countries. So this is also said that wind power is pollution free, and as solar radiation or as a photovoltaic system or before solar radiation applications, this can be also proved to be pollution free, and almost the fuel is also free as solar. Wind is also a source of free energy. So these are actually, if you take the solar energy, it is cyclic and predictable, and it is also dependable on some of the parts of the globe also, right? We can as discussed before in photovoltaic cells, depending upon the desired current, voltages and power, we can construct the modules or arrays in series or parallel. So this is predictable, and this solar energy is also cyclic, and in some areas we can predict that the solar energy will be more and solar energy will be less depending upon the some parts of the globe. But this wind energy is not this type of not getting this type of advantages. It is erratic, it is all we cannot predict this, and it is also unsteady. Sometimes unsteady means sometimes we can get or sometimes we cannot get. It will be cool. And next, often it is not reliable except in very few areas. So where the wind energy available is more, we can go through them. And it does not, however, have a place in the total energy picture also. Okay, until now we are not having any use of this, particularly for in areas where more or less steady winds, especially when they are far remote from central power grids, and for small remote domestic and farm needs, we are not getting any use for this wind energies. So in this wind energy, we are converting this kinetic energy. Actually, this is the energy of motion. Okay, so this kinetic energy of wind, it is converted to mechanical energy, and this is utilized to perform useful work or to generate some electricity we requires. Okay, most they are most machines, they are equipment for converting this. Most machines for converting the wind energy into mechanical energy, these consist basically of number of sails or vanes or blades. All are termed same only. Sails we can call it as sails or vanes or blades radiating from a hub or central axis. So they will be starting from the central axis, means at the point of center there will be starting some blades, and the designing of blades will be depending upon the machine. So the axis may be from the center, the axis may be horizontal, or as in the more familiar windmills, or vertical as in some cases. Most familiar wind turbines machines will be in horizontal axis only, and some applications need the vertical axis. Okay, so when the wind blows against the vanes or sails, so nothing but blades, as it is some cases when the if the wind will be flowing against means opposite to the vanes or slaves, they rotate about the axis, and rotational movement is made to be performed to convert it into useful works. Okay, so this wind energy conversion devices are commonly called as wind turbines. Okay.